Hey folks, this is Arcaden here with a look at the demo for the mountain climbing game, Cairn. This is a quiet but intense game, and I was definitely taken in by the gameplay and the game's style. For this video, I'm going to talk through the main mechanics and also showcase an edited playthrough. By the end of this, you should have a good sense of how the game plays and how it feels to play. So let's get going. In Cairn, you play as Ava, a woman attempting to be the first person to set foot on the summit of Mount Kami. She's doing it solo, just her and her climbing robot named Climbot, who will provide various light support along the way. The game plays like a mixture of a puzzle game and survival simulator. You need to scout and pick the best way to ascend the mountain. As you climb, you control each of your limbs, choosing handholds and how your weight is distributed. The game automatically chooses the limb you move based on your positioning, but you can get more granular if you want to. When the game chooses, it felt surprisingly natural to me. The game has an immersive approach. Feedback comes in the form of Ava's breathing, noises she makes, or things like her limbs shaking. As you climb, you have to manage your stamina, and you also overall manage your food and drink. When you're on solid ground, you could biovac to eat, drink, check the weather, and do basic survival management stuff. The demo also gives us a quick glimpse at a relationship between Ava and Chris, who I believe is her manager.
Okay, hiccup. Chris.
I wasn't done. I just wanted to say, you're in top shape, Ava. You've never been so ready. And Kami, you're gonna make it up there. Kami is your purpose. It's your mountain.
I know, Chris. I'm ready for it. I've got this.
Yes, that's the spirit.
So how does this all come together? Well, in the demo, we are climbing Mount Tezen, which is a small warm-up for the big mountain in the main game. The climb is done in 3 phases, each phase separated by a rest on flat ground. To begin, I start by scouting the mountain to decide where to make my move. Now, as somebody with absolutely no climbing experience whatsoever, I go with the, hey, I guess more cracks and stuff is probably better strategy. So I pick here, and then I start to climb, trying to do it carefully. Pretty early on, I have a slip. My legs kind of fall out. I get settled, and then move on. Near the top of this first section, I make some pretty questionable decisions, and my stamina starts to crumble. I hear Ava struggling, but instead of, correcting, I just do the ill-advised and in reality would probably kill you. Do it quickly and you'll be fine, and I do manage to make it up. Next, I scout the wall for the second phase of the climb. I choose here. When I get up a bit, I decide to be a bit smarter than in the first ascent, and I place a piton. The piton allows you to go off belay, which means you're at a secured point, and you don't have to rely on the belay mechanism to help you out. Here I rest and regain my stamina. You could also drink or access items from your backpack if you needed to. As I continue to climb, I notice the light is changing. And yeah, that makes sense. One of the things that I would have to manage when doing a climb like this is time and light, so I need to make it to the top before it gets dark. Though it doesn't come up in the demo, the game does have a weather system. There'll be fog, rain, things like that will, I'm sure, make it more challenging. Once again, as I near the top, I get less careful. There's something to me about getting close where I'm like, okay, let's just do this, and instead of being patient, I rush through it. Which means I should never actually go mountain climbing. But in the game, I make it, and I take a moment to enjoy the atmosphere. I rest, drink some water, eat some berries I found. Now, the last ascent is by far the longest. There look to be a few options. As I look around, I pick my spot and begin. After a minute or two, I'm feeling pretty good, like I'm getting a hang of the game. And I zoom out to look at where I am, and I realize that there is just a ton of wall left. And this is a point for me where the game earns its status as a simulator. Because even in this digital space, the distance on the wall feels much bigger than it did when I was on the ground. I place a piton, rest, and scout around. A little ahead, it seems like there are two directions to go in. I figure I'll get to this point, place another piton, and then make a call. But on the way, I get super sloppy and start making really questionable decisions of where to put my hands and feet. But before I can fall, I get solid and do another rest. There's a lot of wall left. One of the things that I experience in the game that is similar to like the 2 or 3 times I tried a rock climbing wall was the shape of the mountain looks different based on your angle of view, or in this case, the camera angle. What looks like a small bump can be bigger once you get closer to it. So I move the camera around, trying to get the real shape of the mountain and understand where I actually am putting parts of my body. I take one more rest near the top, drink some water, and then I continue my climb, and I make it. When I get there, I realize I was holding my breath just for those last few moments, and my body was a bit tense, and the tension kind of went out of me. And that's what makes me most interested in the full game. That feeling, that gamified simulation of intense focus seems really cool. It's one of my favorite things about playing survival games, and the execution here seems pretty unique and compelling so far. At the top, I walk to get a look at the task ahead. Now that she could relax, we get a bit more of Ava's personality.
Doesn't look so bad, does it?
I'm looking forward to giving the main game a shot, and we'll definitely do a video on it once it's out. If you're interested in seeing more on this game, don't forget to subscribe, and if this looks cool to you, definitely go download the demo and show this ambitious indie team some support. And as always, thanks for watching.